Right, thank you, Mr. Smith, and welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to this very special occasion, an occasion which has become a very important part of the Term 4 residential school program, and of course it's the opportunity this afternoon to celebrate some of your many achievements throughout the year. I'd also like to welcome our Aurora families and friends. Ben, you might just give me the thumbs up. Are we live at the moment? All right, that's okay. So look, I think as Mr. Smith was explaining, we are having a few technical difficulties, but of course the recording will be available for everybody afterwards. Look, it gives me great pleasure this afternoon to welcome our special guests. First of all, from the Royal Australian Navy, Lieutenant Luke Boswell, and also from the New South Wales Department of Education, our acting Executive Director, Leadership and High Performance, Sharon Ford. Welcome this afternoon. So, ladies and gentlemen, my role this afternoon is simply to introduce our very special guest, Sharon Ford. The New South Wales Department of Education's Rural and Remote Education Blueprint, as many of you would know, was published in November 2013, and it contained a raft of measures to improve the quality of education for students in rural, regional and remote schools. And among the blueprint's 21 pages of outcomes and actions was one sentence that was to become the genesis of Aurora College. And it said simply this: a virtual secondary school will be established, delivering quality curriculum to rural and remote students across the state. Quite an understatement, I think, really, when you read it in its very simple terms. Between the department's pronouncement of a virtual school and the present is, as they say, history, and I know that history is well known to many of you. Today, however, we have the opportunity to hear from a person, our guest speaker, Sharon Ford, who has worked tirelessly behind the scenes to make that pronouncement a reality. The journey we've undertaken together in establishing and operationalising a school as unique, as complex and as innovative as Aurora College has obviously had its share of challenging times. And I know that we all understand what I mean when I say that. Members of the Aurora College community who know Sharon, including our staff, of course, and your representatives on the Aurora State Reference Group, will understand what I mean when I say that Aurora has had no greater supporter or advocate than Sharon Ford. Put simply, without the vision, the leadership and the tenacity of Sharon Ford, the opportunities we all now enjoy, Aurora students and staff alike, would not have been possible. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in welcoming Sharon Ford.
Good afternoon. It's my very great privilege and pleasure to be here and to speak to you. Before I begin, I also want to acknowledge that we're meeting on Aboriginal land. I want to pay my respects to Aboriginal elders past and present. I want to extend that respect to any Aboriginal students and any Aboriginal staff with us today, and family members who may hopefully get to see this recording this afternoon if the technology holds, or later when it's recorded. I also want to congratulate all of you on another wonderful year at Aurora, particularly those who will be award recipients, and say how lovely it is, at least virtually, to be able to connect with your families. What I want to do today is sort of take you behind the scenes of establishing Aurora, and I want to give you a little bit of a reflection on what was in my mind when I did that and what I learned from it. I also want to share with you a little bit about some amazing women in my life and what I've learned from them. And I want to leave you with just a couple of thoughts that I hope that you might reflect on over the coming weeks, and that might help shape your thinking a little bit. So just let me tell you a tiny little bit about myself and how I came to be setting up Aurora. I'm a science teacher by training, prior to that, I went into scientific research, and then I've held all those roles that people hold in schools. I've been head teacher science, deputy principal, and all of those things. And for the last 10 or 11 years, I've been in various director roles, supervising groups of schools. And for a little while, I was a director of secondary education, about the time that the ink dried on the sentence that Mr. Robertson's just referred to. I went into scientific research nearly 40 years ago. So about this time 40 years ago, I was doing my final exams at Sydney Uni for my Bachelor of Science. And off I went to what we know as the Australian Gaslight Company as a researcher into the corrosion of underground pipes, underground structures. And so when the first week in December rolls around, it'll be my 40th year of full-time employment completed. Most of it, though, spent in education. So I want to just give you some of the thinking and the learning from that. And as I said, I want to take you a little bit behind the scenes of establishing Aurora, not because it's my story, but because I hope there are some things that are learnings for you and things that might resonate for you. So Mr. Robinson and I both looked up that sentence this morning by the sound of it. I almost know it off by heart, but I thought I'll go back to the Rural and Remote Blueprint and I'll look up that same sentence. I won't repeat it because it's already been read to you. I counted the words today, 30 little words sitting there when Minister Pickley announced that in November 2013. And it just sat there in the document for a little while. I'd been the main person in working with Minister Pickley and all the stakeholders in getting that document ready. And it went to print, and I assumed then we would pass the school over to others to establish it. But it was my absolute privilege and challenge to get the opportunity to turn those 30 little words into a living, breathing school. Now, normally when you come to set up a school, there's a kind of recipe or a formula to follow. You know how many classrooms you need for students, depending on how many students you've got, you know how many staff you need. There tends to be a recipe for how many hours you need and what a timetable might look like, what you need for staff rooms and so on. There is no recipe for a virtual school, I assure you. Mr. Robertson and I spend a lot of time looking at virtual schools worldwide, and most of what passes for virtual schools is actually distance ed with some additional technology. So lessons are still sent out by email. You can talk to a teacher online, you can ring them up, but it's not the experience that you have. And we really determined that the first thing we would prioritise is that you would come together with each other, even if you're not in the same room, that you would be part of a peer group, and that you would come together with your teachers face to face. So we started to develop the recipe. We thought we'd have a couple of years. We assumed that Aurora, this is sort of November, December 2013, 2014 started. We assumed we'd have all of 14 and all of 15, and Aurora would open in 2016. Minister Pickley was very, very passionate to have this sort of a school. So we got to Easter 2014 and he said, no, I really want it to open in 2015. So we had something like 10 months to open a school for which there is no recipe, and to get it up and running, to staff it and so on. So I just want to tell you just a few things about that little journey. The first thing I did, because sitting in my secondary education team was a fantastic curriculum expert who was very well organised. I made my way round to that corner of the building and I said to Mr. Robinson, Chris, I've got a proposal for you. Come and work for me for a while on this project. I also knew Miss Klados, Kathy, because she had been part of my staff when I was the principal of Auburn Girls, and I knew that she was meticulous in terms of timetabling and curriculum. She was working in another school then, and I knew her principal was brand new. He'd been in the job about 2 weeks. So I grabbed the phone and rang him and I said, oh, you remember me? You've got Kathy Klados on your staff. Can I borrow her for a few months? And he was so new, he didn't realise that he was giving me one of his most precious resources, so he allowed me to have her to work with me. Also, there's a fantastic person in the Rural and Distance Ed team that some of your families may know, Mike Tom, based in Bathurst. So the four of us formed a little core team. Mr. Robinson and I, Kathy, Miss Klados and Mike Tom. And often when we're out and about, I refer to Mr. Robinson and I as the sort of mum and dad of Aurora. Now I have to say to you, I've been somewhat of an absent mother because in the time that you've been with Aurora, you may have seen me pop into classrooms, but I certainly haven't been around as much as you would hope a mother has been. but I've certainly been there every day, prowling around in the background, really advocating for the school and working in the background. After I got that little team, the next thing I did was run through who are all the people I need to establish a school like this. Another one of my colleagues from Auburn Girls was also a brilliant timetabler. I hunted him down and said, come and join my team. We also needed massive expertise from across the department. What's the legal situation for a virtual school? Is it even permissible in terms of the Education Act? NESA, who regulates schools, what's their view on a virtual school? Who are the experts in the technology we need and so on? Who are the parent stakeholders that we would need? So around us we put a number of teams, and we worked really, consistently through 2014 to get that team together. During, just after Minister Pickley announced Aurora in November 2014, I discovered I had breast cancer. Not an ideal thing to discover when you're knee-deep or neck-deep, as it was in setting up a virtual school. So during that same time, I was having chemo regularly and radio regularly, but we persisted with the school. And around me, I had a great team, some of whom made it much easier for me to do that while working full-time and working on this project, because I wasn't just working on this project, I was running all the other things that a director secondary does. So that's just a little snapshot of what we were doing in the background. As you know, Aurora opened on time. You probably don't know that we opened under budget, but we did open within our budget for the first cohort in 2015. But there's been a lot of refining and work in the background since. I was talking to the staff just before I came in, and I said what I think has been the real strength of Aurora, apart from the fact that we said from the beginning we would battle for your timetable to be face-to-face, and some of you will know that that's been a fairly difficult battle from time to time, was that we got to handpick all of our staff. It's very infrequent that when you're setting up a school you get to pick every single staff member. And again, it's been my privilege to be in the background picking the staff. Obviously, I got to select the principal, then the principal gets to select his deputy. But in those early days when we were a team of 4, we divided up all the selection of staff. So you probably know Mr. Robertson's maths trained. He ran all the panels to select the maths staff. Ms. Klados ran all the ones to select the English staff, and I had the privilege of selecting all the science staff. So again, a lot of what we did was based on our capacity to select and bring around us really creative people, people committed to this sort of a school. I just want to tell you what's printed on the back of a retirement medal. I know a retirement medal is an old-fashioned concept now, a medal of any sort probably, but when teachers retire and when principals and other people like me retire, the thing we treasure is the retirement medal, because stamped on the back is the message for service to students. So it still has the government crest, it has how long we've worked, and on the back is in the embossing that says for service to students. And that's been the motivator. It's the motivator for all teachers. You might not see that always, but it's certainly something that the team at Aurora have been absolutely passionate about, and that has been our focus. Each time we've hit a barrier or an obstacle, the first question we ask is, what's the right thing to do for our students? Once we've answered that question, the solution might be fairly complicated, but we know where we're going in our endpoint. So you have been very, very precious in planning for you as a cohort and thinking about what your experience will be like and what the experience will be like for students ongoing. So that's a tiny little part of the journey. There are some threads I want to draw out of that in a minute, but I also want to tell you about some of the women in my family. So I come from a family of extraordinary women. Smart, energetic, resilient, courageous women, women who faced some incredible challenges and difficulties. All of them, except me, very, very poorly educated. So my 2 grandmothers, as women did in that time, one of them born 1910, one of them born 1915, finished school in Year 6, as women did. My mother, who should have been better educated, finished school at 14, at the end of Year 8. It's possible, it was possible then, and it's possible now to have an exemption on the basis of ill health before you reach compulsory schooling age, which for mum would have been 15. I still have that exemption that says she was a severe asthmatic, but in fact her mother was a widow and running a boarding house and wanted someone at home to sort of help at home. So my mother finished year 8. That was the case for all the women in my family. They had one thing in common, particularly my father's mother. I was very, very, very close to my father's mother, and that was a passionate belief in education. And they focused that belief on me, interestingly, more so on me than my brother. And they had a passionate belief that education would change my future. None of them got to see how that would work out as much as they hoped for it. My mother's mother died while I was about your age, in year 9. I was in my mid-20s when my mother died. My grandmother, whom I, as I said, loved very much, did at least get to see me become a head teacher science and begin that part of my career, and at least see our 3 children born, but she didn't see, where that belief in education has ended up. My great-grandmother had those same sort of hopes for her family, but of course she didn't get to see any of it. My family lived in a little mining settlement, so we lived out of town on the edge of a creek, and my grandparents not far from where we lived. And my grandmother used to often point across the other side of the creek, and she used to say, speaking about her mother-in-law, I don't know how she raised a family in a tent. Do you realise they lived across there? And she raised the whole family in a tent. And that was kind of something that just sat in the back of my mind. Just after Mother's Day this year, someone sent me some photos from that town where I grew up. It was a history of the town, and I opened it up, and there is a series of photos, including one that says Ford family. And there is the Ford family. My grandfather, as a young man of about 12, 14, his siblings, his parents, and there is the tent in which they live. There's a little mud and daub house mud and daub hut, that would have been the kitchen, and there are my great-grandparents and the family there. The reason I'm telling you this is that's 3 generations, from a woman raising her children in a tent to my grandmother's generation, who understood that the one thing that would change people's lives and would change my life was education, to my mother, who at least got into secondary school but not very far, to me, who is standing here, not because it matters what I am, but because of the privilege of the choices I have. I've had the opportunity to work in schools, I've had the opportunity to be employed for 40 years because of that passion that the women in my family had for education. Although they didn't live to see that come to fruition. Now, out of that, I want to draw out just 2 words, hope and perseverance. Now, they're 2 interesting words, and I've been thinking about them a lot the last couple of weeks. Hope's a word that we kind of use in a wishy-washy way, like, I don't know, I hope there's not hamburgers for dinner, or sometimes I say, I hope my children will eventually learn to pack the dishwasher. It's kind of a wishy-washy thing. But hope, I want to encourage you to think, is a very, very strong word. My grandmothers hoped that I would be well educated, and they hoped that I would benefit from that. And they didn't just hope. My father's mother in particular poured all of her cheer squadding and all that she could do into that. There wasn't any money to pour into it. Occasionally when I was at uni, she might help out with textbook costs, but she poured all of her encouragement, all of her cheer squadding into that hope, and she did it very actively. There was also a perseverance about what she did. When there were setbacks, she'd say, okay, that happened, doesn't matter, refocus, get back into your career. When I told her that I was having my first child, she didn't say what most grandmothers do, which is congratulations. She said, how's this going to work with being a head teacher? You really like this role? You need to stay employed. How are you going to juggle both? And she really worked on the capacity to persevere and juggle things. When Mr. Robinson and I were setting up Aurora, we hoped that it would be the school that it's come to be. But we didn't just talk about, we hope this will happen or we hope that'll happen. We marshalled all the resources that we could find across the department, and we threw them at this project constantly. Whenever we met an obstacle, we certainly persevered, but we persevered very actively thinking, what's the reason for this obstacle? What's in the best interests of our students? And what are we going to bring to bear on it? So I just want you to think about those 2 words from time to time. I often say to people, I do my thinking either in the shower or when I'm cleaning my teeth. So I don't know where you do most of your thinking, but reflect on these two words as two words that go together really well. Hope being something active that you work towards, hope being something that you throw your energy at, and perseverance, which makes you keep doing the things that you need to land whatever that goal is that you're hoping for, or whatever that goal is that you're hoping for someone else. Just in finishing, I'm a feminist, and I have been since as long as I can remember, probably year 5, year 6, year 7, ever since I could really think about who had advantage and who didn't, and what gave you advantage. I was a practical feminist. Obviously, I didn't understand the concept or what might be written in textbooks. Neither did my grandmother. Now, feminism is a word that attracts a lot of denigration. It attracts a lot of sneers and comments now. I've heard a lot of people say, I don't need to be that. I don't need to be a feminist. That battle's over. Women have all that they want. I hear the other things about feminists, they're an odd lot, or they're aggressive, or they're anti-male, or they're anti-family. But when I say I'm a feminist, what I'm saying is that I have a really deep belief and commitment to the innate equality and dignity of every person, to our shared humanity. I don't see us being divided by gender. I don't see us being divided by race or age or sexuality or our background, how much education we have or haven't had, our economic circumstances. In feminism, I see that equality that sees a person and hopes for their future and perseveres for that future irrespective. I've been reading a fair bit about the suffragette movement lately. The suffragette movement being the movement, particularly in the UK, although it was all over the world, for women's votes. It started about 1906, just before my oldest grandmother was born, and it finished at the end of the First World War, when a small number of women in the UK were granted the vote. And lately I've been reading the history of those women, quite a deep chronology of who was involved, when, why they were involved, what their financial circumstances were. And I have to say, it shocks us now, I think, to think that anyone even thought that there would be a need for someone to battle for something as basic as a vote. When you read the attitudes to why you would have to be 30 if you're a woman to be able to vote, why you would have to have a certain amount of money or a certain amount of property behind you before you could vote, it doesn't resonate very well with us. What has really resonated with me is their motto. So the motto of the suffragette movement in the UK was deeds, not words. And what they meant was, after we finish persuading politicians and arguing the case, then we need to act. And I'm encouraging you to think about that. And behind those words sits a congruence between what you believe in your heart and what you actually strive for. Now, I want to assure your parents, I'm not encouraging you to be as radical as some of the suffragettes were. In the end, in their frustration, they damaged a number of public buildings. They were into arson and things like that. In saying deeds, not words, I'm not encouraging you to that. But I am really encouraging you to be passionate about what you believe in and to be passionate about turning what you believe in to deeds, in making sure that what you do is congruent with what you believe and think. So in closing again, I want to wish you well, and I want to just ask you to reflect on those two things. Hope and perseverance, they're about deeds, not words. And to think about what it is that's really passionate for you and what it is that it would mean for things to be congruent between what you think and you hope and what's most passionate for you and what you actually do. Thank you.
Thank you, Sharon. Jamie Sue, you have the honour of... Yes, is Amy? Yep, good to see Jamie coming there. On your behalf, Jamie's going to present Sharon with a small token of our appreciation for what she has done for our school. Sharon mentioned, of course, the retirement medal that she received recently. She is transitioning to retirement. I hope that's not a secret, Sharon, because I've just broadcast it right across the state. So, look, never to be outdone at Aurora, we've struck our own medal, and it says simply, in the service of Aurora students. So thank you again, Sharon.
So I'd now like to call forward Kathy Klados to the centre to present some Stage 4 awards. So we're now up to the awards presentation. So Miss Klados will be presenting the award, and Miss McMurtry, if you can find the awards, they'll be in alphabetical order. Fantastic. So just a little bit of preface about these awards. A lot of these awards, congratulations, they are the Galaxy Awards that you have been accumulating all year. So to earn a Galaxy Award, you need 25 Astras. So this is an accumulation of a year's worth of work. A lot of people are getting more than one Galaxy, so congratulations to those people. When I read out a maths award, those maths people that are coming up here, these people are in the top 5% of mathematicians across Australia. So the maths awards that I read out here, brilliant awards. We handed out some chemistry awards earlier, and we've also got some special awards that we are going to be presenting at the end. So this is just the Stage 4 awards to start with. So I'd like to call first Leanne Adams. She'll be receiving a Galaxy Medal and a National Chemistry Competition Award. So we'll clap, sorry, I forgot to tell you. We'll clap at the end of Year 7. Yep, thanks, Leanne. Jonah Sang, receiving a Galaxy Medal. Eve Bailey, a Galaxy. Ben Bain, 1 Galaxy Medal. Well done, Ben. Luca Bringetti is receiving a Galaxy Medal and an Australian Maths Test challenge. So one of our 5% in Australia. Well done. Charlotte Carter, 2 Galaxy Medals. Amazing. So that's 50 Astras that Charlotte has accumulated already in her short time in Year 7. Congratulations, Charlotte. Charlize Catamol for her work in mathematics. Bailey Coffey is receiving a Galaxy Medal. Oh, I need my other one. Zoe Khaled is receiving 2 Galaxy Medals.
Congratulations. Thank you.
Caitlin Dark, a Galaxy Medal and a certificate in the maths competition.
Congratulations, Zoe.
Tom Dickens, a Galaxy Medal. Ellie Fitzpatrick, 2 Galaxies. Kane Forbes, 2 Galaxies. Hayley Fraser, 1 Galaxy. Luca Garcia Kaitola, 1 Galaxy. Michaela Gilbert, you're getting certificates for the Premier's Sporting Challenge and the Chemistry Competition. Marley Hopkins Davies, oh, sorry, I should slow down. Marley Hopkins Davies will be receiving a Galaxy Medal. Sorry.
Congratulations. Thank you. Congratulations.
Harry Huddleston will be receiving a certificate for the chemistry competition. Jada Hulme, a Galaxy Medal.
Yeah, congratulations.
Charles Jeffrey just seems to be winning everything. So this morning I presented Charles at roll call. I presented Charles 3 awards, I think. Charles also lost his wallet twice at this res, so we need to buy him a chain. But he's also receiving 2 Galaxy medals, a chemistry quiz, a maths quiz challenge, and a Premier Sporting Challenge. Well done, Charles. Amazing work. Yeah. Dash Jones. So Dash is receiving his first Galaxy. James Kelson. So James will be receiving a Galaxy medal, chemistry competition award, and his Premier Sporting Challenge award. Oh. Oh, he's already got that.
Congratulations, James.
Harry Kerr will be receiving his first Galaxy. Adrian Lee, another huge all-rounder, has already acquired 2 Galaxy medals, 3 science competition awards and maths awards that we presented at roll call this morning. He will also be receiving in his package here an Australian maths competition prize and a Premier Sporting prize. So congratulations all-rounder Adrian. Well done. Lucas McDonald will be receiving 2 Galaxy medals. Brock Poisel will be receiving his first Galaxy medal. Maya Rose, her first Galaxy medal. Finley Sales will be receiving a chemistry competition award.
Congratulations.
Luke Sati, his first Galaxy. Adam Spencer, again, first Galaxy, well done. Adiba Tasman, her first Galaxy.
Congratulations.
Zoe Tattersall will be receiving a Premier Sporting Challenge award. Rani Tiffin, her first Galaxy. Lydia Valdez, first Galaxy. Jacob Wardle, a chemistry competition award.
Congratulations. Congratulations.
Will Whittingham, his first Galaxy. Elsa Wilson will be receiving 2 Galaxy medals. So that concludes Year 7. Congratulations to all Year 7. So as I said before, that's a huge achievement for Year 7. We have done these presentations every year at Aurora, and there has been a year where Year 7 unfortunately just didn't receive any. They just hadn't accumulated enough, and to receive so many Galaxy medals for Year 7, amazing work. So congratulations to Year 7. Brilliant. Well done. You're right? Yeah, no, you're right. Sorry, miss. So continuing on with Stage 4, we'll now invite Year 8 up to get their awards. So Riley Batterbury, a Galaxy medal. Heath Beth, a Galaxy medal. Genevieve Bland, a Galaxy and an Australian Maths Trust Challenge. Chantel Bourne, an Australian Chemistry Quiz. May Browning, Galaxy Award and... Oh, sorry, nope, Galaxy Award. Well done, May. Emma Buckland, a Galaxy Medal and New South Wales Premier Sporting Challenge. Will Callaghan, Galaxy Medal. Braden Chappell, Galaxy Medal. George Collins, a Galaxy Medal. Aisha Corkery, 1 Galaxy Medal. Jack Davies for Premier Sporting Challenge.
Congratulations.
Julia Delis Reyes, Galaxy Medal. No Julia? No. Will Dimmick, a Galaxy Medal and New South Wales Premier Sporting Challenge. Well done, Will. Richard Gort, 1 Galaxy Medal. Jordan Gmer, 1 Galaxy Medal. Danielle Goodrick, a Galaxy Medal. Gabe Goodrick, 1 Galaxy Medal. James Greenway, a Galaxy. Kayla Gruber, 1 Galaxy. Bailey Harrod, 1 Galaxy Medal. Alex Hegarty, 1 Galaxy.
Congratulations.
Emily Kearney, 1 Galaxy and her Chemistry Competition Award. Reardon Kirshner, his Australian Maths Trust Challenge Award.
Congratulations.
Will Coyerton, 1 Galaxy Medal. Jackie Long, 1 Galaxy Medal. Jocelyn McKenzie, one Galaxy and a New South Wales Premier Sporting Challenge medal. Oh, sorry, not medal, certificate. Lockie Muller, 1 Galaxy medal, an Australian Maths Trust certificate and a Premier Sporting Challenge certificate. Oh, well done, Lockie. Danica Myers, a Galaxy medal. Heidi Osgood, a Galaxy medal and an Australian Maths Trust Challenge certificate. Heidi Parkin, Galaxy medal, chemistry competition and New South Wales Premier Sporting Challenge. Anthony Fan Hui, Galaxy medal. Rory Stein, Galaxy medal. Will Stone, Galaxy medal. Angela Quadrilateral Tang, Galaxy medal. Sorry. Joseph Tanswell, she wasn't brave enough to say it. Galaxy medal. Tara Tiffin, 1 Galaxy medal. Laura Wepler, Galaxy medal and I was waiting for it. Laura Wepler, Galaxy medal and Australian chemistry competition. Maya Wicks, Frisk, Galaxy medal. Lily Wilson Star, a Galaxy medal and a Premier's Sporting Challenge. So that concludes Year 8. Congratulations to all Year 8 winners. So thank you, Ms. Klados. Thank you, Ms. Murtry. I I would now like to welcome Miss Taylor to introduce and talk about the SRC for a little bit. And sorry, Miss Thompson, would you like to come up on the stage? There is a chair here, sorry, to present the badges. Thanks, Miss.
Good afternoon, everybody. The SRC at Aurora College is a platform for student voice and student leadership. Our students self-nominate via an application process, and successful students serve for a period of 2 years, with the exception of Year 7 who join us in Term 4 and continue with us until the end of Year 8. Today I'd like to announce our new Year 7 student representatives and thank Ms Thompson for presenting those students with their badges today. Can we please hold our applause until all of our students are on the stage with us today? Thank you. In no particular order, our representatives for Year 7 are Charles Jeffrey, Leanne Adams, Hayley Fraser, Adrian Lee, Amelie Kerr, Thomas Dickens, and Marley Hopkins Davies. Congratulations, Year 7 SRC.
So the next person I'm about to call to the stage, I sprung this on her this morning, so I'm hoping she's really prepped for this. She's waving at me, she is, and smiling at me. So we're about to, so we haven't done this before, but we thought that we should be hearing the student voice of what Aurora means to students. So I found Libby this morning and just asked her, would she mind making a small impromptu speech about Aurora and what it's meant to her, and maybe what it's meant to the student body. So Libby, please come forward. Thanks, Libby.
When I stepped off the bus at my first residential in Year 7, I was wearing a dress with a pattern of TARDISes on it and a very ugly fedora that we don't talk about. So for those of you that don't know, the TARDIS is the spaceship from a sci-fi TV show called Doctor Who. I remember this so specifically because it was the nerdiest outfit that I still have. Off to a flying start. But anyway, I remember this so specifically because it is the most nerdy outfit I have. And during the first hour of that residential, I got about 30 different compliments. For a kid coming from a local high school where the most commonly used words are expletives, that was incredible. I remember looking around at all of the other people in nerdy outfits having actual intelligent conversations and thinking, I could get used to this. 4 years later, and I have. Aurora has been a place that has given me a lot of opportunities and a lot of good memories. But it's always felt more like a sanctuary than a school, a place where I can learn, but also where I don't need to hide anything about myself because I know I'm among people who think the same way I do. And more importantly, among friends. So, I just want to say how grateful I am that I've been given the chance to get used to this. And on behalf of the student body, and particularly Year 10 as we leave, I would like to thank Mrs. Ford for setting up Aurora College, Mr. Robertson for keeping it running and putting up with all of us. I don't know how you do it. And all of the teachers in the audience and up on the stage today who have supported us, guided us, and shown us exactly what it means to love what you do. Thank you for 4 unforgettable years. Thanks.
It's all good. It's all good. Thanks, Libby. That was amazing. Yeah, I did spring that on her like maybe 2 hours ago. So amazing. Thanks very much, Libby. So I'd now like to bring forward Miss Bonham to collect the awards, and Mr. Robertson to present the Stage 5 awards. So first up, Charles Allen is receiving a Galaxy Medal and, I forgot about this one. Sorry, Da Vinci Decathlon. I forgot to mention that year 9 and 10, we take, or Miss Taylor and myself take a group of up to 30 year 9 and year 10 students up to Armidale to compete in the Da Vinci Decathlon, and our year 9 students blitzed. They came first in English, well done, Miss McMurtry. So first in English, first in ideology, I think, and first in general knowledge. And that's actually the second year in a row that we've come second in general knowledge, showing the wealth of knowledge that our students have when competing against the state. So when you hear me call Da Vinci Challenge, these students did incredibly well competing against the state. Gabrielle Anderson, Galaxy Medal. Renee Apap, Galaxy Medal. Shannon Burke, Galaxy Medal and Premier Sporting Challenge. Beryl Brown, Premier Sporting Challenge. Dan Castle, Galaxy Medal and Da Vinci Decathlon. Iris Cuddy, Galaxy Medal, Chemistry Competition and Da Vinci Decathlon. Lily Davies, Galaxy Medal and Chemistry Competition. Jack Evans, Galaxy Medal. Maddie Evans, Galaxy Medal and Da Vinci Decathlon. Jacob Fredericks, Da Vinci Decathlon. Nina Gort, Galaxy Medal. Poppy Gillespie, Galaxy Medal and Da Vinci Decathlon. Toby Murr, Galaxy Medal. Olivia Jackson, Australian Maths Trust Challenge. Zara Jobson, Galaxy Medal. George Johnson, Galaxy Medal. Grace Kennedy, Galaxy Medal. Laura Kerr, Galaxy Medal. Amy Ma, Galaxy Medal. Jack Meredith, Galaxy Medal. Neve Montgomery, Da Vinci Decathlon. Tom Negus, Galaxy Medal. Charlotte, Charlotte O'Brien, Galaxy Medal. Nope. Neve.
Could be a problem there, but we'll just get it all sorted out.
Sorry.
Thomas, well done. There you go.
Emily Robinson, Australian Chemistry Competition, Australian Maths Trust, and Da Vinci Decathlon. Pepper Rogers is a Galaxy Medal. Emerson Sharwood, Galaxy Medal. Jackson Stacey, Galaxy Medal. Mav Surplus, Galaxy Medal. Lachlan Taylor, Galaxy Medal. Alyssa Townsend, Galaxy Medal. Vincent Ward, Galaxy Medal. Rowan Webb, Da Vinci Decathlon. Genevieve White, Galaxy Medal. Charlie Winter, a Galaxy Medal. And Alex Zesevic, Galaxy Medal. Congratulations, Year 9. So we now come forward Year 10. Now, with Year 10, so Year 10, unfortunately, my Year 10 team who went up to participate in Da Vinci Decathlon, they didn't come first, second or third, so they've already been presented their participation awards. So whilst we had an amazing team, the competition was incredibly strong, and unfortunately the Da Vinci Decathlon people, they only give us certificates if you come first. So my Year 10 team, congratulations, you did amazingly well against the state, but unfortunately they just don't recognise coming second. So I'm sorry, but well done to my team, amazingly well. So first up for Year 10, Sarah Burns, Galaxy Medal. Da Vinci Decathlon for 2 years in a row, Sarah. Well done. Rashan Caldwell, Galaxy Medal. Ben Coffey, New South Wales Premier Sporting Challenge. Daniel Dehaan, Galaxy Medal. Jordan Fisher, Galaxy Medal. Sarah Jane Flood, Galaxy Medal and National Chemistry Quiz. Ali Gort, Galaxy Medal. Ellie Geiger, Galaxy Medal. Chloe Gruber, Galaxy Medal, Australian Chemistry Quiz, and New South Wales Premier Sporting Challenge. Adara Henby, Australian Chemistry Quiz. Lily Henderson Clark, Galaxy Medal. Zoe Jenkins, 2 Galaxy Medals. So I will tell a story there. He's still sitting in the audience because I told him that I would not bring him up and embarrass him. So, Dave, you did get some Galaxy medals. So congratulations, Dave Ibbott, who doesn't want to come up onto the stage, but he does deserve the recognition. So Dave doesn't want to come up on stage. But well done, Dave. I said I wouldn't embarrass him, but bad luck, Dave. So Zoe, Laura Manus. Anita McKenzie. Jonah Menzies, Premier Sporting Challenge. Ella Rowley, Galaxy Medal. Neo Stevenson, Galaxy Medal and Premier Sporting Challenge. Felix Stone, Galaxy Medal. Devlin Strawn, Galaxy Medal. Robbie Thomas, 2 Galaxy Medals, aiming for a Universal Achiever, I do know that. And National Chemistry Competition for Robbie. Well done, Devlin. Maria Tynan, National Chemistry Quiz. Nina Walters, National Chemistry Quiz and Premier Sporting Challenge. Callum Wepler, Galaxy Medal. Leah Witkowski, Galaxy Medal. 2 of them, sorry. Hopefully on her way to getting a Universal Achiever. And Maggie Zanon, Galaxy Medal and National Chemistry Quiz. So that concludes Year 10 School Awards. And congratulations to all of Year 10. Okay, so we have been waiting 5 years to present this award, and it took 5 years for us to choose this trophy. We have always promised you that 5 Galaxy medals will result in a trophy. It has taken us 5 years to choose the perfect trophy to now award our first recipient of 5. So well done to Zoe Jenkins. So Zoe, if you could please come up. You are the first recipient in Aurora College of 125 Astras, which means 25 Stellas, which means 5 Galaxy medals, and now the Universal Achiever Trophy. Well done, Zoe.
Well done, Zoe. Congratulations. There you go. I think we've got a photo over here. Well done, Zoe.
Miss Taylor, just here. Oh, that's right. Miss McMurtry, could you come forward just to present an award? Thank you. So you just heard me calling out Premier Sporting Challenge. Now we get given a Premier's Sporting Challenge medal for the person who has been in Year 10, who has been absolutely meticulous about logging their steps, their hours, their energy. And when I saw this person's name, I thought, wow, you've absolutely impressed me that you are that meticulous about steps and taking this challenge really, really seriously. I don't know that this person knows that she is getting this award, but I'd like to bring forward Chloe Gruber. Well done, Chloe. You are a gold star in the Premier Sporting Challenge. Congratulations, Chloe. Well done, Chloe. Oh, So the next special award, so these awards, so the one that Chloe just received and the next two awards, last year was the first year that we were given the privilege to issue these awards. We can only issue these awards to Year 10 students, so whilst Year 7, 8 and 9 students may have logged all of their points for Premier Sporting Challenge, unfortunately we must give it to a Year 10 student. So the next two awards must be presented to a Year 10 student. And I think this year I've managed to keep my mouth shut long enough, and I think this is going to be a surprise for both recipients of these awards. So the first award that we're going to present is the Caltex All-Rounder Award. The student that we're presenting this to works tirelessly. Sorry, I'm about to give away gender, but is an absolute gentleman. Will assist teachers, students, his peers in his own school. He is just a gem. He's amazing in our 3 subjects. I also know that he's amazing in his own school, his homeschool subjects. So we'd like to bring forward Callum Wepler to get the Caltex All-Rounder. Well done. Thanks, Liz. I'd now like to bring forward Lieutenant Luke. He will be presenting the Longtang Leadership Award. I'll probably make a speech about the student, but if you can give us some background about you. I know a little bit about your story, but if you could give us a little bit of a background about you and the Longtang Award, that'd be great. Thanks, Luke.
Thank you. It's an honour to be here. I normally give presentations full of memes, so I apologise if it's not that interesting. Good afternoon, principal, staff, parents, especially you, the students of Aurora College. Thank you for inviting me as a representative of the Australian Defence Force to present the 2019 Longtang Youth Leadership and Teamwork Awards. I'm Lieutenant Luke Boswell, and I have served in the Navy for 4 years after completing my master's degree in engineering. I currently work as a test and evaluation engineer at Garden Island here in Sydney, where I have the opportunity to work with all kinds of platforms, from ships to aircraft and autonomous vehicles. I grew up on the border of the Murray in country Victoria, and was fortunate to study some of my years 10, 11 and 12 subjects via distance education, which enabled me to pursue this career as an engineer. Aurora College is one of approximately 2,300 Australian schools that have chosen to participate in the Longtang Youth Leadership and Teamwork Awards. These awards recognise and celebrate qualities such as leadership, teamwork, respect for others, doing one's best and mateship. The ADF, including the Navy, Army and Air Force, place great importance on these qualities. In fact, the servicemen and servicewomen of this nation are expected to demonstrate these qualities every day, and every time we assist with flood relief or after significant fire or other natural disaster. The ADF is an organisation of people who together are able to demonstrate some extraordinary things. As students ready to take your place in society, it is never too early to work as part of a team or to be a leader within your school, sporting clubs or local community, as this contributes to the development and prosperity of our nation. The youth of today, you guys, will become tomorrow's leaders, and we wish to recognise and reward those who selflessly contribute to their community and display the qualities of leadership, teamwork, respect for others, doing one's best and mateship. Again, thank you to Aurora College community, principal, the staff and you, the students, for the invitation to present this award today. On behalf of the ADF, I congratulate you for your awesome achievements and I wish you all the best.
Thanks for that, Luke. The way that we chose this award, I put around just a staff survey about who would fit that model. And honestly, it was unanimous. So I'd like to bring forward Robbie. So well done, Robbie. So Robbie absolutely fit that. Those who know Robbie would know that he absolutely fits everything that Luke was just talking about. He's an absolute leader. I know that he's helping a lot with res, with trivia, with the leadership of Year 10. Yeah, he's amazing. So well deserved, Robbie. Congratulations. Thanks, Luke. Now, we haven't done this before. My last school, this would always result in lots of tears. I hope it doesn't. So Ben and Sean, who work in the backgrounds and answer your tech questions tirelessly, have done an amazing presentation for us about our year at Aurora College. So we have a video montage that Ben and Sean have created. Very much. So thank you to Ben and Sean for pulling all of that together in very short notice. So thanks, Ben. Thanks, Sean. So that concludes the formal part of our presentation today.